Oh, he's got his inspirational poster up. Mm-hmm. So you didn't put up like Victoria's Secret pictures on your wall as a kid. You put up like exhaust.
Dare to be different.
Yeah. Okay, why did that end up getting way shorter than what we were messing with? You did something while I was away. Or is this?
It's the magic. Camera magic.
Moisturizer, no. Well, basically, for our viewers, we brought Chris in to help us out with some of the logistics, basically, of how we're going to house all these intercoolers, turbos, and get everything out the back of the car.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. Well, it'd even be a challenge if you weren't going turbo, right? With your steering and everything else. But yeah, we got to get stuff to the front here.
So we work with Stainless Bros here in town, or all of our stainless steel. And they actually just started Tycon, Stainless Bros, same company. And Stainless Bros just started carrying Schedule 10. 10.
Unboxing. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah, so they have each individual. Pretty nice. And it's already beveled.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty nice. So what we'll do, definitely have to purge this. I'll probably do one root pass and then a cap on this pipe. So two passes per. So what do we have here? We've got 90s. This is 1.5 inches. Let's do a long tail 90, yeah. So a longer tail 90, and this is heavy.
It is heavy. Yeah, just because it says Tycon doesn't mean titanium, even though it says titanium innovation.
And they're in Leander, Cedar Park.
Right, local, yeah.
A little smaller one here.
Yeah, I've done a couple Stainless Bros setups on some Foxes already. Not custom headers though, I'll say that.
So that's a 30 degree. So we generally like to get, what is this? That's like 15.
Oh, little guys.
Smallers.
It's almost like a ring.
Yeah.
Actually, I could have made a bad joke there. I'm not going to.
I was going to make a bad joke. A ring, but for something. So, 30. So I think, I don't know, man. This almost like my initial reaction is we're going to need more than this.
Yeah.
Unless, because I can see us having to do some pretty intense curves. So we have this sturdy pipe here. And then we have some,
damn.
You kill somebody.
Yeah, like this is, it's got to be probably 3 to 5 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to exaggerate, but that's a heavy piece of pipe. Well, in reality, right, Schedule 10 is like a 10 gauge. Yeah, so
this is what's nice about Stainless Bros is like their quality control. I mean, it's pretty nice. Of course, this is Schedule 10.
So you can see how thick this is, which all comes into play, right? We're talking about heat off a big block, plus turbo, weight of turbos. Well, the turbos can have brackets and whatever else, but you know, you want something fairly strong on there.
Look, guys.
Yes, we'll probably end up taking those studs out and go to bolts. Actually, you probably had that kit from the Ultimate. Yeah. Well, the only thing is, right, if you have the studs and you got to remove it, you got to be able to pull it far enough off the stud.
That's true. So that's probably not going to work.
With our clearance, it's not going to be as friendly.
Really, the way I do this is just to put the flanges on there and just start
going, tacking it,
and start going in. But I think what we can do is figure out an initial kind of just generic game plan. Maybe you'll be able to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like it's got to be right here, right? I mean, there's really no other place where I can lay it.
Yeah. So we'll be chopping this off.
Yeah.
So that'll give us room there.
Yeah.
But all right, I think the biggest thing is just wherever that fog light lands, and whether, you know, it's sort of like fabricating an inlet into the turbo or however it's going to go. And then, all right, just making sure we can get to anything on the intercooler side of things. You know, right, this car doesn't have any bumper, the actual bumper bars or anything, or the rebar support behind it yet. So that's,
we can remake all that.
yeah.
However we need to for all the...
Well, then fab it, yeah, and then it'll be, I'm sure, support brackets and everything else coming off it. There is a tubular bumper support that's just off the shelf that you can buy, bolts right in.
There is one available right now.
Yep. So that could technically be ordered, and there's one that's tubular that goes here for the radiator support.
Yeah.
So when that gets chopped off, and then, yeah, just kind of can weld it instead of bolting it the way that most people do.
Mm-hmm.
And then that'd probably, whether it's used or it gets cut and modified accordingly.
Yeah.
But at least they're there. It's a starting point. Yeah,
Let's
man.
make a shopping list up there before you leave.
Yeah.
That way we can get this shit.
Okay. There we go. Stay tuned. Just provided some Christmas goodies. 79 Pace Car front end, front balance, some other goodies that hopefully we'll be able to mock up and test fit. So if you guys don't know, this is actually very challenging stuff to find. So you got the front fog light bracket assembly, front bumper cover. The lower valence is actually already inside, so we can do some mock-up and test fitting. The fender spats, an extra set of taillights. So a local gentleman to me had this hiding in his barn up in the DFW area, and was kind enough to bring it down. Now hopefully we have what we need to get some stuff fitted, and you know, something that's not completely sun faded and baked and dry rotted. Actually, I'll show you on the other bumper here. All right, so now when you look at bumper to bumper, you can see all the pitting from the sun and the heat. So that other bumper is light years ahead of this one. And yeah, we got an extra core support too if we need it, but I can see this one's cracked here. So that'll be beneficial as well. And there's the lower section that's actually in extremely good shape.
This is like a box of rejects probably.
I thought this car went all back together.
It did. He's just changing up the front end. He put a roadster shop front clip on it.
All right.
And we freshened up the interior recently.
Oh, yeah.
I did all this in CAD. So we replicated, see the dash here with the little divots.
Oh yeah.
So I replicated that in CAD, and we made this little
nice
piece there, and then had the Martin Brothers M CNC'd into the front. And we've got little other like kind of pops around, like back there it's supposed to be a Chevy emblem, and I designed a little
Martin Brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
Just working on K-Dub.
Oh, tearing the Cameo down, get ready, about to go to the paint shop. And just doing a little tear down.
Nice, so everything's been mocked up, ready to go. Now you gotta rip it all apart again. Mustang turned out good.
It's turning out good.
Yeah.
I'm really digging it. It's growing on me.
Did you do that rear quarter panel insert, or was that?
I did on where the gas filler was.
Yeah, where it was hit.
Yes,
yeah, that turned out real nice. You got the body lines perfect. Sway bar. Test fitting?
Yeah, well, I gotta put it in. I gotta get my mounts. We had some mounts on here, and they wasn't lining up. So I gotta.
You gotta get the geometry right.
Yeah.
Oh, so they were like here, and you needed them there, type deal.
Yeah. Well, I think they were way over here.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, they were like, it was like smacked out, and it wasn't gonna work. So I had to. So this car has been messed with a lot. So,
like too many hands have touched it type deal?
Oh yeah, it started out like one side, and then it went to another side, and then so it used to have airbags, now it's having coilovers, so everything had to get messed with.
Gotcha. Very cool.
So everything's custom on the front end of this car.
All right. Little gangster ride, you know? See some mobsters driving this thing around.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's designed, like
Right.
chop top mobster type car.
Yeah.
Just gonna start cutting and making these things.
Well, should we do an update on the car here? Like, some stuff has changed. Well, at least since I've been here. You put a tail light on, like the car's half built now.
Pretty much done.
Yeah, like just send it. So we were looking at some fitment issues here, which we think were the result of a rear impact. Well, we know it had a rear impact because the gas door area was all messed up, and Adam put a video out of making a custom section that was done right here. You wouldn't even know that all they did was change this part. If you didn't watch the video, you wouldn't have known,
we ran
right?
that.
And this is like your concoction you made, right?
That's
like
the Pull Max die that K-Dub made, yeah. So we can replicate the belt line around the whole car.
That's pretty sweet.
So
that actually looks better than factory, I think.
Yeah, we made it a little bit more crispy.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody wants crispy lines. Like, that's nice and sharp. I like
that edge there is more crispy than the stock guy. So you can see, I just finished putting all these back on there. Just take them back off again.
Yeah, notice there is no gas door because it's going to have a custom fuel setup, most likely. I think we're talking about here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got I measured for a tank. We've got the tank on the way and it's center. So it's going to be kind of going down the center here.
Yeah.
Flip down the plate.
That's actually my black convertible. I did that.
Oh, did you?
Mod. Yeah, it's pretty slick because I shaved all the handles and everything off. So yeah, this side's fitting a lot better.
Yeah, so you can see that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, all the impact that was here before was all dented and everything. So that's all fixed.
Yeah. So this proves your theory. So there's the back.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was all under Bondo when we got the thing. You know, we didn't know it was there.
So yeah, you can definitely tell in the crispy factor here. Yeah, that looks real nice.
Yeah, so we're running Schedule 10 stuff on this car because of the turbos. But a lot of guys run the Schedule 10 stuff because there needs to be rigidity if they're hanging a turbo off the front. I'm gonna mount the turbo down here on the rail with a heim joint, so we'll have additional support down there. So I think even with this thinner wall collector, we're not gonna have an issue.
Yeah. So you got 2 out of 4. Well, technically 2 out of 8.
Yeah, you can kind of see the penetration in this one. And there's no sugaring on the back. That's what this setup does is I purge everything. So that eliminates the sugaring on the back. So in our last video.
Oh, that's nice, more fancy looking.
Fancy and robust. So we need these to support.
Structural.
Yeah, we need these to support.
So you were cleaning this up to avoid blowing through and stuff on the last ones. Yeah. Or these ones look a little nicer.
They do.
But you're still going to give them the treatment.
Yeah, just because of that sandwiched area. That's what blows out.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice looking piece.
Yeah, so you can see the difference. Maybe you can, when you edit this, you can flash that other style. I really enjoy messing around with this Stainless Brothers stuff. It's all really, really nice. To see how it's pre-beveled, which is nice. You don't have to mess with that.
So that.
But we'll see here when when I get into it. The hardest stuff about this Schedule 10, the hardest thing about doing this is just the fixturing. Like holding it all and tacking it together.
So do you have one of those fancy tools that hold 2 pieces together and then you can kind of...
No, those tools are great for straight sections, but the minute you get into a curve like that, they don't really
So they're just Instagram gimmicks when I see that, when they're advertising
I think they would work for straight. I mean,
yeah.
if you're just trying to hold together a bunch of straight pipe, I made my own.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so you just, basically this, you can see though, obviously this isn't for this pipe, but.
Yeah, that would get into the the bend and you wouldn't get it where you need
it's not
it.
gonna hold.
Yeah. Oh, he's got his inspirational poster up.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't put up like Victoria's Secret pictures on your wall as a kid. You put up like exhaust.
Dare to be different.
Yeah.
Hot rod power tour. I always like to cut this a little long so I can trim it back on YouTube. Go too fast on this, it never cuts straight. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh yeah.
That's what happens. That's what happens if you cut too fast.
So it takes a while because the saw is trying to go through. I mean, it's basically going through a plate here, and then when it hits here,
halfway mark, she's good.
It'll move faster.
Yeah.
And then once it gets down at the bottom, it'll slow down again. But it's just you have to be patient with this process, or you're just going to end up wasting a bunch of food.
By the time I sand this, will be golden. So I'll have to sand a bevel into this, obviously. Schedule 10 is hard on everything.
Okay, why did that end up getting way shorter than what we were messing with? You did something while I was away. Or is this...
It's the magic. Camera magic. It's actually the same length, you just can't tell. No, I actually used one of my old cutoff pieces. Because I really wanted to get some distance in between here. I don't want these headers knocking up against the frame. Now we'll get to show everybody how frustrating it is to try and hold this stuff and get it back. Gonna try and get this roughly aligned here, and we'll have to now probably can get this tape off of here. I'm running a really sharp tip on the tungsten so that my cone stays down in the bevel. Like a 45-degree angle, the cone would be a lot wider and it would throw heat out on the...
Right.
So now at this point, before I get this piece fully tacked up, I'll go ahead and throw another 15 on here and see if we're in the ballpark. So you can kind of see what I'm thinking.
I do. You want your Sharpie?
No, I think at this point what I'm going to do is weld a piece of straight pipe into the collector and get it parallel with the ground so I know.
Also start building that way.
Yeah, and then I'll connect it here in the middle. Because right now I'm just guesstimating.
Yeah.
Kind of where this, because I can already see like right now we're headed up.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not going to land on that piece that comes out of the collector.
That's your long piece? Your long pipe?
Yeah, so this is what we're going to use as a place setter. This isn't going to be the final piece. This will just give me an idea of
Well, it could be if it's the right length and does everything you want. Never say never.
True. Yeah, I hope what people are going to gather from the channel is it takes a long time to do this stuff. And I think the Iron Resurrection days, it just, everything would happen over the course of 2 episodes.
Yeah, we were mentioning, you know, you build a car in 2 hours versus we haven't even done one primary in 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. It's tight down here. Like what you and I were talking about earlier, we're just really lucky to have the right clients that appreciate the craftsmanship and know how much work goes into this stuff.
Oh, no, not yet. I got a system here, I think. If it doesn't work, then it'll just be like, I'll put like some fail music in the video.
Like Price is Right trombone?
Yeah.
You want to use my high temp tape?
Oh, he's just,
Oh,
it isn't the final.
it's nice because it doesn't smell like burning tires. And it doesn't
Yeah.
do, you
He
know,
actually didn't make any bad Burning Man smells with this tape.
This is his process, and I don't know if I'm fully sold on it.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll see.
there you go. Tack that.
like on pipe fitters in America over here.
Yeah. I don't know, is it lined up? Yeah, it's just super critical with these gaps that they're the same around the pipe because our root pass needs to flow in here so that we don't have cracking issues down the road. It's showing us right now if we move in,
Yep.
then we're going to be up there pretty much. So that's telling me about a 1/4 inch off.
Yeah.
So, damn, it's going to be tough to cut the 1/4, or I'm not going to try and sand a 1/4 inch off this. So. I'm trying to see it. I don't know. Can you see that silver down there?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
No way to speed things up. We don't have Motor Trend here to make it all happen in 2 hours anymore. Although you'd be waiting for like a year to see the footage anyways. So I guess maybe that's an important thing. What do you guys think about seeing the in-depth nitty-gritty stuff compared to the sped up stuff? Because what we can do is we can always assemble a bunch of footage later on and make it seem like things go a little faster, but this is giving you guys the real experience and the real deal of what it takes to do the simple things like headers. But next week, or next video,
There might be some magic of TV in that video, right?
yeah, we'll make some magic in that one because we should be able to see pretty much a completed header. Turbos will be here, so we'll be doing some mock-up there and turbos and people seeing those. It's always fun to have some snails on the shop.
And you're here, so for everybody at home that doesn't know, you're helping out. Your channel, the Infamous Project, focuses on Fox bodies,
Yeah,
and that's why you're here with us. You're giving us a lot of great insight.
and
And,
bringing you overnight parts from Foxbody land.
Yeah, exactly. But y'all should go over and visit his channel if you haven't.
Yeah, check out the Infamous Project. Put a link down in the description for you guys, and tons of Foxbody stuff if it's of interest to you. If not, completely understandable. I do have some other things in there. Me and Adam both like BMWs, but we don't have any in the shop.
No BMW projects.
No, yeah, no BMW, no German cars allowed here, I guess.
There could have potentially been one, but it didn't work out. Yeah, by next week, so you're going to come back on next Monday. I'm going to have the rest of this week to focus on these headers. So probably what I'll do is try and get everything tacked up and completed. I don't know if I'll be able to get them done because at this pace right now, it's almost like one primary a day.
Yeah.
So what do you have? 5 more primaries to do. So yeah, I mean, it's going to take me all week to get 5 primaries done. But maybe what I can do is get one side almost pretty much completed to the manifold, but not fully welded, or not to the manifold, but to the collector, but not welded onto the collector. And then we can throw the spike on the end, weld the collector up to the, because there's a pretty involved process to make sure everything's sealed up.
This will all be fully welded. And then we'll slip the collector over that. So you can see there's no way for the gas to get out once it's fully welded from the inside.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments, leave them below also. We don't have
Adam takes all the comments personally and to heart.
Yeah.
Actually, he's really thick-skinned because he's got the shop bully in here teasing him all the time.
Yeah, exactly.